This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great...
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 12 yards is the pickup there, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterback's got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And some room to maneuver. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
Still first down.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
You know, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little modest about that, being in a groove.
He's got daylight. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Garrett. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6.
Well, there was no doubt that this offense was in desperate need of a quick answer, and they got it. One play, and they're right back in this game.
Because you got the sense if they stalled out here and then another score on the other side to make it a 3-score game, could have gotten ugly. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Dancing away at the 30. And he's into the clear. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Still some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if, in fact, they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the second. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a route is on here in this first half. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
Make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now.
Let's go! Green, 39!
They run a draw here on second down. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Over the middle, complete. It's Garrett. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
The Vikings now heading onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them?
And nothing but daylight ahead. 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And that carry of 98 yards is now tied for the second longest in NFL history.
Amon Green did it, I believe, in 2003 when he was playing for Green Bay.
Against the Broncos, I think.
And just face it, no matter who was running the ball, for that distance, give them some oxygen as well as the touchdown. What a play.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No
him.
one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And they do finally get him at the 12. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This time Jackson will throw it. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. And they've gone to the half with the Raiders out in front. The Raiders trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. The Rams looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And as you see, they are currently all tied with the visiting Redskins. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And they will be backed up deep as they'll have to start the drive from the 6-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Jackson on first down. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. On the crossing route, complete. It's Taylor. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. So how about got this for field position after the big play. Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. A diving catch for the score he laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box, touchdown.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Now let's go.
They're going to look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's done. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's done. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now back to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole...
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Room to run past midfield. He will not. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader.
Here
Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll drop the throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now this time he'll look to throw. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction. And that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Buying time to his left. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you...
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. The Packers on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 14. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He has really been buoyed here by a strong running attack. They've been great on the ground.
And have enjoyed the entire process because oftentimes when you're running the football,
he's got the lane, and there he goes. Past the 20. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And with that scamper into the end zone, it breaks the single-game record for rushing touchdowns.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Every variety of run we wanted to see, we got to see. And a brand new record has been established today.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.